Hello, and welcome to the We Recommend podcast, a movie podcast where every week we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come back here and listen to us discuss. I'm Jesse.
Yeah, I'm Jason.
I don't think it cares about alarms and locked doors. It can go wherever it wants and do whatever it wants.
How do you know?
Whatever is happening, it's already here. Because this week we recommend Paranormal Activity.
Hell yeah.
So I just want to start off by saying sorry that my voice is probably going to sound nasally and like I'm sick. It's because I'm getting over a sickness, so sorry. But anyways.
It's okay, I'm down with the sickness.
Yeah. So, Jason, Paranormal Activity. When's the first time you watched it? What do you think about the movie?
This is my first time watching this one.
You've never seen the original?
No, that started with the one that has where they have a baby. That was the first one I ever saw.
The second one?
The second one.
Yeah.
I guess.
Where the cabinets go, bah!
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great scare in that one. That was the part where it's like, wow, this one's just doing the same thing and it's kind of boring. And then it's like, bah! And it's like, let's go! And then it kind of gets a little gruesome afterwards, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like this movie. It was fun.
Did you watch it in the dark and
no,
nice? Okay.
This morning.
Well, because we were originally going to record this like last week, but I was sick, so we skipped recording it. But I was just sitting there and like, as I was watching it slowly getting sicker, I could just feel it coming over my skin. And I was like,
big.
And it really affected me while watching this movie because it's also kind of like dark out because it's supposed to rain. And I think it was like the third time where it goes like night number like 5 or whatever. And then there's like the footsteps, and then there's almost like the scream and the thump, and like they scream, and I was like, I'm scared.
Demons got me.
I was like, dang, I didn't think this movie was gonna get me again, but
Just
it's got
stood up
me.
and stared at your wife for an hour. Yeah.
Well, and also I got the surround sounds in the walls, so it was like,
oh yeah,
I was like, fuck, it's in my walls.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I want to be scared like that.
Yeah.
I want surround sound. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's it can freak you out because one of them is like the right back speakers, on the wall, and it's near my door. So anytime there's like little creaks or like thumps, I'm always like, just turning to
and
my
you've got
right.
that mechanical arm that taps you on the shoulder just out of nowhere.
Dude,
why do you even have that?
I'm like, Natalie, put your arm up.
I know you're trying to get like an immersive experience, but go on, man.
So have you seen any other ones, or has it just been like the one?
I've seen 2 or 3.
Have you seen the one where they're like back in the 80s and stuff?
No.
That's with like the oscillating fan that has a camera attached to it.
I don't think so.
That's the third one. That's the one you should watch.
Really?
My rankings would be 3, probably 1, 2, then marked ones, and then next to kin. And those other 2 can just like go die. Except for like the endings. Well, except for Ghost Dimensions, like just they messed up. They made it 3D. It's all dumb. It was like, what are we doing here? But the fourth one's just kind of boring until the ending.
I think I've been following the history of these. Well, actually, I've been listening to another podcast that I'm sure you have too. They were on last pod where they talk about the story of these movies.
On the last podcast, I didn't hear that one.
Well, they're based on the guy they just did a series on. I can't think of his name right now, but I'll look it up.
Oh, dang.
But he's the one that kind of created the storyline of like the difference between ghosts and demons. And
yeah. Crowley? Aleister Crowley?
No, it's not Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, he was just kind of a demo freak.
Yeah, I kind of wish there'd be more Aleister Crowley stuff. He ate poop.
He ate poop
once.
Poop and sperm and just kind of anything he could get his mouth on, apparently.
Gross.
But that's true, he did. So this film was directed by Oren Peli, and so this was just kind of a random guy that just wanted to make a ghost film in his house. Because this whole movie is filmed completely in his house in 2006, came out in 2009. And like it was only made for $15,000. I think he only made it for like $10,000. And then once his film got kind of picked up by Paramount, they were like, oh, we want you to reshoot the ending. And then ended up giving him, I think, $5,000 for it. And then it ended up making $193 million worldwide, making the second highest grossing or earning film ever compared to budget. Next to Blair Witch Project, of course. Yeah.
Was it the highest?
Yeah, but just because it was made for even less, because it was literally just 3 people in the woods. So they didn't need a set, they had the woods. Yeah, this is great though. Um, and I guess the director, Oren Peli, did not like horror films. And he just wanted, like, to make a more up-to-date horror movie and kinda more realistic. And he did all the editing and the special effects, like dragging her down the hallway,
Yeah.
making shadows, and apparently it was super easy for him, even though he didn't know how to do a lot of it because all the camera shots are static. That makes it
Oh,
super easy
yeah.
for him.
I guess.
And
Static means that it's in one place all
yeah,
the
just in
time,
one
right?
place. Yeah. Um, so like, do you like how it's filmed? I mean, did it get boring for you ever while watching these movies? Or are you just like, come on, let's pick up the pace? Or do you like the slow, gradual buildup?
It is a slow burn. I did find at times I was getting a little bored, but I think they did a really good job of at least keeping the tempo up
Yeah. I
pretty
feel like
well.
night one, they're pretty, I mean, well, so you know how you go through the film, you're first just meeting the people, and they're relatively likable people, and they're kind of funny
Yeah.
a little bit. And then whenever you see them, they're just like, Mika's playing guitar, and then Katie's is sitting there, and all of a sudden they're like hearing a noise. They're like, what was that? And like immediately gets you like, oh my God, what is it?
Yeah.
And this is before you know the fact that like only bad things happen when the house starts rumbling. As soon as the
Yeah.
cameras or the sound
This is
pops
low
up.
hum.
Yeah, and it's great. It really builds up like the dread. But I think it kind of builds up pretty fast. And like night one, you hear the footsteps, a lot of footsteps, and the keys being thrown off. It's like, oh,
Oh,
we're
they
getting
got
a,
a cat.
we're
Yeah.
getting a little, we're getting a little more. I like, you think like, oh, all we're gonna hear is just like a thud, but it's like, oh, okay, never mind. We're getting a little bit more than what we thought we were gonna get at the beginning. So the actors, Katie and Mika, that's their actual names, and
Never heard anyone called named Mika.
yeah, me
Always hard to
neither.
pronounce Micah.
Yeah, and every time that like they say his name in the movie and be like, oh yeah, it's Mika. Like 5 minutes later, be like, crap, is it Micah or Mika? I can't remember as I'm writing in my notes.
I
I'm
know,
like,
it's almost
fuck.
like every time you hear it, it's like, what
Yeah.
did he say?
And so I guess they were only paid $500 each for this film. Because again, had no budget. This was just some
Damn.
random guy making a movie in his house, which is the
I
way
wonder if they got any shares of the
they renegotiated
oh, nice.
how much they got paid. And Katie comes back for like 2 or 3 or 4 of them. Mika comes back, I think, in marked ones only. Or I think he comes back in the second one as well. So I'm sure they got a chunk of change for that one, right? But I never really seen them do anything else. So that's about all that I know
One
about
and
them.
done.
But so something that's cool is that so everything they did in this movie was improvised. There was no script. I mean, I'm assuming there was an outline, but like everything that they were saying was just coming into their heads as they were doing it. Just like, wow, their guys are actually pretty talented improvisers. I feel like, I mean,
yeah, well, it couldn't have been hard to give direction for the movie. It's
yeah,
like,
it's
hey,
like,
you be annoying with the camera.
yeah, hey, be a dude that got a camera and will obviously want to film sex with this. Because it's like the whole beginning of the movie. It's like,
And-
how do I get her to film sex
Yeah,
with this
and
camera?
don't try only once.
Yeah. And apparently Mika, in school, I guess when he went to school, he had like a little bit of like camera operating like skills. So he ended up that's why the camera, because you think that it probably had a professional cameraman or at least
Yeah,
a
it did
director
look like
doing it.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's because he was he knows how to operate a camera. So it really helped him out during the
Yeah,
filming.
it helps with the story,
Yeah. It's not like insane. It's
It's not
something that,
Blair Witch.
yeah, it's something that kind of gets a little ridiculous with a lot of found footage. It's like, okay, I see that you're doing something, just don't know what it is.
Someone take the camera away from Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. And so the filming of this only took 1 week. 1 week of filming. Apparently it was in.
Because it said they were on night 15. That's more than a week.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I just think it was such a really good job. It's like, I love low budget horror filmmaking like this, where it's just like, I'm going to pull myself up by the bootstraps and really do this. And so I guess back in the day, Jason Blum, the guy who's a part of Blumhouse, which is
No, I have no idea.
oh my God, I'll kill him, guys. I
Blum.
will snake get him. So back in the day, I can't remember who he was. Was he with Miramax or some other company? He had the chance to buy a Blair Witch Project, and he did not take that chance. for that company. And so he's regretted it ever since.
yeah.
So when he saw the opportunity to pick up this movie after it being really good, he's like, I'm going to fucking do it.
Finally.
And that's how he ended up.
Chance.
That's why he ended up picking up Paranormal Activity. And it became a very profitable thing to do.
Just he's swimming around in money going, yay.
Because I feel like if they didn't have this, because Blumhouse is so known for very low budget movies that make over $100 million no matter what. Because horror movies always make money. Except
wow, that's
now.
interesting.
I feel like now they don't. No one goes to see them. And
everybody's mad at the movies.
Yeah.
Because it costs $1 billion for popcorn.
It's at least over. If you go to the movies and you go like at night, that's going to be nearly $30 for 2 tickets at this point. And then plus the popcorn's over $10 if you get
it's
a large.
$50 for.
And then the drink's nearly $10. I mean, you're spending $50 to go to the movies.
Easy.
Yeah, people are like, why aren't they going?
Yeah.
I mean, it is getting to the point where if you have multiple streaming services, you're spending like over $100 if you just have like 3 or 4 of them now.
Yeah.
So whenever they, did like a screening for test audiences, the director and producers were like, no, people don't like this. They're walking out. Turns out they're walking out because they could not handle the stress of the movie anymore.
Hell yeah.
It felt too real to them.
They had to go change their pants.
Yeah, which the marketing for this movie was great because all they had to do was show the audiences. I don't know if you remember when this movie was coming out.
I think I remember. I mean,
the black and the night vision on the audiences and them going,
maybe I did. Yeah, I have, because I do remember seeing something along those lines.
Yeah, they kind of made it super popular because after the Paranormal Activity did it, everybody started doing it with their horror movies for a little while in the 2010s.
So was this before reaction videos came out? Could this have created reaction?
I mean, videos? I think it helped. I don't. I'm trying to think. I didn't watch a lot of YouTube in 2009, but I don't think it was a very. I don't think there's a lot.
I barely had a smartphone in 2009.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it probably was like it helped the people being like, maybe I can just record watching this. But so the fun thing about this movie, I remember being in college, community college, just, always looking up movies in the library during my 3-hour break between my classes. And there was Fandango had like, hey, like request this movie for your theater because it only showed in like 160 theaters worldwide. And most movies get like 500 to 600 movie theaters.
Jeez.
And so you could go on Fandango and request it to come to your theaters. Turns out that was all, it was going to come to the theaters either way. It was just a ploy for marketing.
Yes.
But I remember being so pumped about this movie from seeing the trailers and stuff. And, I went on there. I campaigned. I had like my friends campaign to get it because I was so excited for this movie. And
he just did a bunch of free work for that.
Exactly. That's all it was doing. It was just doing free marketing. It used the audience as marketing, which is great. But yeah, the marketing for this film was so good. And it's just like, man, it's only made for $15,000. And then, it came out and then I saw it midnight release and it scared the bejeebers out of me and the entire audience.
Hell yeah.
Still one of my favorite movies ever to see in the theater.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so this movie has 3 endings. The one that we see in this, and at the end, after we go through the plot, I'll show you the rest.
Okay.
But yeah, they didn't like how the other one was because it really didn't lead to sequels. And as soon as they bought this movie, they were like, "We're making sequels out of this," and it turned out they did. A lot of them. Apparently, the director didn't like horror movies. He is terrified of them, so he can't watch them. And he's like,
so he's got his eyes shut while directing the whole time.
Yeah, and he's just like, I want to make a realistic horror film. And so let's see. We'll just do.
Be scared, but don't let me see it.
Yeah, like I mean, they had sequel ideas like before the movie even came out in theaters.
It's just them having sex.
Yeah.
For an hour.
But Mika's idea was, are you sure you didn't want to do this? So I just got 2 more facts. We'll do this one real quick. So when Mika is walking around with a microphone trying to get an EVP recording, he asks, "What is your quest? What is your favorite color?" Yes, that was a quote from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and it was awesome. A little joke in it. I loved it. Ties it back to one of our movies, which is great. Love when it does that. Actually, I got another one other than the 2 that I said. So the very first Survivor 2000, The runner-up, Katie Gallagher, was originally cast to play the role of Katie, but was laid off because Oren Peli decided she was too well known to keep the film and ended up getting another girl named Katie Featherston, which is ironic that they have the same name.
We're going to find another Katie.
Right. But I thought that was very funny. I was like, damn, everything comes back to Survivor or Lost in this podcast for me.
Do you think they ever said that it had to be a Katie?
I don't know.
Like, I don't give a fuck.
It seemed like he was pretty.
Katie.
It seemed like he was pretty dedicated to have a Katie as one of his lead roles. You know. So Spielberg had a lot to do with this film. So after Jason Blum convinced Spielberg to get a view of the film, the director was so taken by the film's horror that he became rather jumpy. Once the film had ended, his room's door locked from the inside. Spielberg was forced to summon a locksmith and then proceed to bring the DVD of the film in a garbage bag to the studio due to his superstition.
How do you think he summoned a locksmith? Do you think he used the Ouija board?
No, it's like, I need a demon locksmith. And so with Spielberg's stamp of approval, the studio had planned on making Paranormal Activity a larger budgeted film aimed for a DVD release. Peli would have helmed the film again, but would have to redo his work. These plans changed thanks to early screenings of Peli's cut, scaring the living daylights out of test audiences. Now armed with the knowledge that the film would definitely bring the scares, DreamWorks proceeded ahead with the original prepared film. So, yeah, they were going to completely redo it with a bigger budget and more well-known stars, but they're like, no, it scared Spielberg. It's good enough. There's no other reason to do anymore. But yeah, that's pretty much all the facts. There's got a bit, so
it'd be cool if you could communicate using a Ouija board. Except for when you'd call somewhere and they're like, press 1 for this and press 2 for that, and you're like, please speak to a representative.
Yeah.
And it just takes forever to spell out.
And then you just like hear like a demon voice though. Please press 1 for.
Our wait time is eternity.
Oh my God, that's so good. All right, so before we get into the film, Katie Featherston plays Katie. Mika plays Mika. Mark Fredericks plays the sidekick, Mark Fredericks. That's pretty much all you need to do. I love the sidekick in this movie.
Yeah,
the actor
cool. Yeah.
was like,
he's not all wooey.
Really good.
Yeah.
Like just in terms of acting in this film, I was like, holy shit. This guy seems legit.
I almost wanted him to come in with wearing a tin hat, but he didn't. He was very professional.
This is Joaquin Phoenix wearing a tin hat from Signs walks in. I was like, okay, this guy has to get out of here.
This is a great service.
Yeah. All right, man. Anything you want to add before we hop into the plot?
Nah.
Okay. So we're going to hop into the spooky plot. Man, how great would it be if something happened? Ooh, before we get into it, I would like for you guys the audience, to send us your like best spooky stories. Like,
that'd be fun.
If you had anything, ghost, cryptid, alien, you got hunt by a serial killer or something, almost died, came back to life.
Frog jumped in your mouth.
Saw like another, world. I don't know, different dimensions. I don't know. Just send us any spooky stories you got. I'd prefer them to be real, but if you, I don't know, come up with like a really scary story that you just made up off the top of your head, just don't tell me and just make it good. Okay. I'll read it.
Have you ever had a ghost?
I think last time we talked about it, I've never seen a ghost, but I've had I was at home. Like when I was a kid, watching TV, trying to, watch R-rated movies, see boobs, it was like 3 a.m. in the morning or whatever, 2 a.m., 1 a.m., whatever. Everybody's asleep. I'm going to the refrigerator and you can see the living room we had a small trailer growing up. So it's like you could kind of see everything from everywhere.
Sure.
So I'm getting something out of the refrigerator and it's really young, like 10, 11 maybe. And, I'm getting something and I just hear kind of footsteps, and then this was kind of around Christmas time, and we had these weird Christmas card holders, and it was tied up from the top, but the bottom wasn't, and I saw it up and then fall down.
Hell yeah!
And you could just hear running, and I was like, so okay, it terrified me, and I was like, I guess my dad or mom had to go to the bathroom. I don't know, because on the other side of the kitchen, there's kind of the room. So
holy crap, that's scary! I got chills. Man.
They must have ran. And so I slept on the couch at the time because I just preferred to watch TV and fall asleep as a kid.
Yeah.
And so I only slept on the couch. And so I sat there terrified, kind of with covers on me and kind of, you know, almost kind of over my head, but just kind of waiting for them to come out. And no one ever came out of the bathroom. So I was like, okay. And then I fell asleep and I never talked about it with anybody.
Yeah, your adrenaline just made you pass out.
Yeah,
for fear.
It was just like, it was terrifying. And like, unless I'm misremembering like my dad walking out, just be like, don't go back in there. But I don't remember that at all. And then there's one time with my friend Richard, we were at a theater, like a play theater, you know, theater for plays. Also, my brain is delusional. I'm relatively sick still, or not really, but whatever. Just keep talking, Jesse. You know, the place is supposed to be haunted or whatever, and so one of the guys there, we call him Mr. Allen, whatever, and he was like, "Hey, go upstairs. It's supposed to be haunted," and it was only us three there, and so me and my friend go upstairs, and it's like way up in the air. I mean, you know, it's a theater. We're above like the theater and stuff.
Dang.
And this is where they kind of store the props and everything. We go up there and we're like, this is not haunted, blah, blah, blah. We immediately hear something fall over and we turn around and run away. Whereas like, okay, that was an insane coincidence.
Mr. Allen got
happened.
you.
No, he's downstairs. Like as soon as we go back, he's in the...
It's a theater.
Like there was no...
This is where the magic happens.
There was no other way for him to get up there. And there was... and it was an enclosed room. So it's like, it's not like he could have like thrown something up. It wasn't like, you know, railings or anything that you can see down, but we just knew there was only one set of stairs going up. Nobody else was there. And if they were, where were the cars? Was there just like a homeless guy living up there? I don't know, but no one was up there. So as far as I'm concerned, that was a ghost.
He's like,
or a rat.
Wait, come back. You haven't seen my junk yet.
It was just a very, very weird time for like a rat or something to knock something over if it was one.
Yeah,
you know?
That's spooky. Yeah, I've never had anything happen. Always been scared of them. But
and then one time at me and my wife, we went to St. George Island and we're sitting on the beach and there was this weird lights everywhere. And like not moving, but like blinking in and like kind of disappearing and then blinking back.
Hell yeah.
And then like randomly new ones would show up.
Talking to each other.
And then like another one would show up and I'll be like,
fucking UFOs,
at first I was
man.
like, oh, it's probably just like, you know, I don't know, maybe the Coast Guard doing something. Then I was like, why are they never moving? And why are they always just blinking? And, you know, it wasn't star distance. You know how you stars,
Sure.
you can tell they're super far away. This is like,
That's spooky.
yeah, that was really fun.
That's cool.
That was a good vacation.
Hell yeah, man.
It made me think of movie ideas. Alien Island coming soon.
Yeah.
I love like thinking of movie ideas and just giving them the worst titles. Like my Jewish vampire movie, The Nebbish Vampire. Everybody gets, when they get bit, they just turn into a Woody Allen type sounding vampire.
You call it Oy vey.
Oy vey. So anyways, we're going to hop into the film now. Please send us any scary stories you have. And if you enjoyed mine, say, way to go, Jesse. There's a link in the description you can click and you can just text us from your phone there and it'll send it to my webpage. Or at the very bottom of the description, you can go to werecommendmailbag@gmail.com. Send us your scary stories. Please, we want to hear from you. We love you. Unless you don't love us. We'll have Toby come get you. Later on, the demon becomes, they give it the name Toby, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Toby Flenderson from The Office. That's the demon. So.
Sweet.
It starts off with the title, Paramount Pictures would like to thank the families of Mika and Katie and the San Diego Police Department. Imagine if this was a real story. Be like, Paramount.
That'd be wild.
Fuck you, dude. You ain't gonna get the live death of my family in the movie theaters. I'd still probably go see it though. So the film starts with Mika filming random stuff and Katie arrives home. We learn that the camera is new. They just look like normal people.
Young couple living together in California.
They're not like overly handsome and beautiful. They're just like, hey, these are we're just random people, right? We're just in their lives. It seems really great. They seem to really like each other and they have fun. Mika's they're just kind of talking about what they're doing a little bit, kind of in the background. You're slowly hearing that there's hauntings. That's why they have the camera. He's talking about, and I just want to figure out who's making this noise. And he's got like a knife in his hand. It's like, I'll take care of it.
So as you're watching this and having seen other ones, are you just pouring over every single detail of the house and everything around these people?
No, that's actually why this movie is really great, because it was filmed, before having any idea for sequels. They just kind of just made a movie with a demon in it. And I
I love
think I think that's what really works about the movie. It's not like now, of course, it'd be like, we have to have everything that we planned for 10 years in this movie.
Well, I was thinking, I was kind of expecting, it to slowly build up, but I was just couldn't stop myself from looking at
Looking
every
at
other
everything.
thing except for the characters, because I feel like this director's trying to trick me.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't. But in the later films, they bring back like the picture that was smashed of Mika. They bring back the burnt picture in the other films and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, we learned that a ghost has been apparently haunting her since she has been a kid, since like 6 or 8 years old. We get some sound checks. Whisper, Katie. I am whispering. No, whisper. And then while sitting on the couch, Katie thinks she hears something, and Mika investigates it, and it's just the ice maker. But it's fun. Also, Katie is a crafter. She's very crafty. She's always knitting or making some sort of bracelet.
Yeah, there's always a ball of yarn.
Cut to her. If this didn't happen to her 10 years later, she's on Etsy.
Yeah.
Mika asks for
selling horrifying art.
Yeah, it's like, wow, did a kid make this? Cool. So Mika,
I just make like creepy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now if this did happen, it'd just be like,
but yeah, it's all really, really bad.
Just be like goat
friendship bracelets,
just goat eyes on a bracelet. And Mika asked for a striptease because he's just like every man
I've
with
got
a camera.
That's what they're for, right?
That's what I feel like any girl, as soon as like someone like their husband or boyfriend brings a camera in, be like, God.
Yeah.
So how many days till he asked me to make something with this?
How many minutes?
Yeah. So later they are in bed. Mika is going to film them at night when they sleep. Mika tries to convince Katie to have sex while filming. She says no.
So that's when you turn off the camera.
Yeah. But I love when they turn out all the lights set up. I love the setting of the room. The camera's perfectly placed. You have the light on in the back where
see down the dark, scary hallway.
Yeah, and you're constantly like, there's going to be something. There's going to be something. I love that there's almost never any visual of a ghost down there, but you're always anticipating it, just building the suspense. It's great. So then we get to night one, the iconic Paranormal Activity rumbling.
That's him stepping through the portal of hell, maybe?
Kind of eventually what Ghost Dimension said it was, and it's very annoying. We didn't need a ghost dimension. We just need real life. So, and we're hearing footsteps in the house.
He's just brushing his teeth with a mechanical toothbrush.
Yeah. It's like, I'm a demon. I got big teeth. Hey, come on. I need a big toothbrush. It's gas powered. What can I say? I'm a demon. Hey, leave me alone here.
No respect.
Yeah. So yeah, we hear footsteps, and then we hear like, keys hitting the floor. We kind of don't you kind of think like maybe a glass is breaking or something, but it's just keys. Because, Toby brought his cat with him this first go around.
Just got a ghost cat.
Yeah. And that's it. That's night one.
I'd watch that movie.
It's a great way to kind of get you going though. Because it's like, oh shit, like we're starting night one. Okay.
Really get the spook juice flowing.
Yeah. Because I could see, if this movie was 10 minutes longer, night one would just be, oh, nothing happened.
You're like a
Hey, Toots, do that striptease for him.
Oh, God, that's creepy. That's so scary.
Why are we making this? Why am I making the demon sound like a 1930s?
We're on our way to making a movie. That's what we're doing.
So the next morning, Katie finds her keys in the middle of the floor. Mika plays it off like, oh, would you put them there? Why'd you do that? We are slowly getting to where Mika becomes intolerable. Yeah. So they play in the pool a little bit. It's fun. He does like his flick off things.
Yeah, those are great.
Oh, I caught a big one. Very funny. Reminds me of a lot of people I knew in 2009. We learned that they have a psychic coming. Mika is very skeptical. Says they should play a scary music while he comes in.
I agree.
It's very funny. Mika's still funny at this point. So the doctor arrives, and what was his name? What was the doctor?
Friedelson?
Fredericks.
Fredericks.
Yeah. I really like this guy. He seems super nice, super genuine.
He's not over the top.
He's not spooky.
Yeah.
And I love that the movie went this direction where it's just like a regular old guy.
He's just like a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. So he comes in and he's just asking about their lives. We learn that they've been together for 3 years and are engaged to be engaged. She's a student and he's a day trader. Hey, we're just regular people here, all right? Come on, we put our shoes on one leg at a time, or 1 foot at a time. I should have said pants. So Katie says haunting started when she was 8. Both her and her sister Christy have experienced things. Apparently, Katie actually always saw a black mass at the foot of her bed. It was always only at Katie's bed, though. We learned that there was a fire and the house burned down. They don't know why there was a fire. Firefighters are like, don't know. Just fires, you know, they're crazy.
Fire snuck in here.
Yes, I smelled some brimstone, so it might have been a demon. I don't know. Going very like New York and with all my accents. It's a very New York demon here in San Diego.
Sulfur smells like fart, so I imagine that's what brimstone kind of smells like.
Yeah, well, we got a demon over here then, pointing at my dog.
Got him.
He stunk up the house yesterday. Ugh, it's terrible. So from 13 and on, it has periodically been happening, and over the past 3 weeks, it has been happening again. And it's the psychic says it's connected to Katie. Lights have been flickering and faucets turning on, scratching, whispering, and it's called her name. Mika wants to make the hauntings happen. The doctor said the ghost will feed off negative energy, and they should not try to entice the demon to come to him.
Antagonize it.
And Dr. Frederick said he can't help because he believes that there is a demon and not a ghost, and he does not deal with demons. And Frederick,
like, really, are you really that specialized? Come on, man.
He's like, yo, like, look, if your parents died and you want to talk to him, I can help you out. If damn Toby's out here, I can't do this. I don't deal with Toby Flenderson, okay? But he recommends that they get a demonologist, Dr. Abrams. I guess there's cuts of the film or not cuts, but there is like, they film scenes with a demonologist, but like they didn't use them, so. Or like some sort of demon ghost. Paranormal investigator guy. There's apparently some scenes with one.
He really did sound like a guy from New York, and they're like, we can't do this.
We're in San Diego. It doesn't make sense. So Mika asks, what if they use a Ouija board? The doctor wants him to not do that. Mika and Katie argue about calling Dr. Abrams because Mika doesn't believe that there's still a ghost. He thinks this is all fake. Here's the thing. Never don't believe somebody until you know they're a crazy person.
Well, I do that all the time, though.
Well, you're like, I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
Oh, well, yeah, I believe most people are always lying.
Like with ghosts, and especially like in our house. Since I haven't seen anything, it's like, nah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
If I don't see it, it isn't real.
It's movies that make me like want to, it's like, all right, I'm going to believe you until like I know for sure you don't have like a demon or ghost.
Hell yeah.
But then most of the times I still don't believe him. So Mika and Katie are about to have sex and he tries to secretly leave the camera on. This is where we get like, she did things that are illegal in 3 states, especially Kentucky.
Yeah. Sodom.
And then she has trouble.
Don't yuck her yum. Come on.
Yeah.
And you're the one who did it. You agreed to do it.
Yeah.
Let's go, Mika.
So, and then we get night 3. You get the rumbling. And a door slightly closes and opens. And that's it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Power.
Man, without the rumbling, this movie would be pretty boring, though. So Mika shows Katie the door moving. Something that I was thinking is like, when does he have time to review all this footage?
He doesn't have a job.
He's a day trader.
Yeah,
I don't know
all you do is look at numbers.
It's like, damn, these numbers are crazy.
I mean, and
I guess you can look at numbers and then just put your
right. And like the stock market's only open for a few hours every day. It's not like
it's like 6 hours. That's like
it's not long.
Yeah.
So like he's got time.
It only takes 6 hours to ruin the economy, you know. So like that's all they need. But still, like 8 hours or like more of just reviewing film. Golly, that's like I've always wanted to try ghost investigations, but I'm like, who's gonna review this? Me?
Yeah, and how do you not do it in fast forward all the time?
Yeah, and it's like you can't because you gotta hear noises.
Hours and hours and hours.
Just be like, dang, I'd have to have like 2 different headphones on. It's like, well, I got the EVP, I got the camera noise. Like, what do I do? I guess
you just wait for the little bumps to show up on the
play video games
radar.
and just like kind of wait. Oh yeah, that's actually really smart. That's what you could do. Yeah. So Mika wants more of the ghost, but Katie wants it to go away. Randomly, Katie starts screaming. He goes to help, but first grabs the camera, which,
she gets pissed.
shit, like Mika's like, not a good guy here. He should probably just run and help her. It's just a spider, though. It's like, really? You're just going to yell about a spider?
I like that they put it outside. Good
Yeah,
for
they
you.
didn't kill
Good
it.
on you.
Yeah, good on you. Not in my house, that thing died. Because it's just going to find its way back in to make babies.
Cat's going to eat it.
Yeah, they do squish a lot of spiders.
Hell yeah, I love it.
Mainly crickets. Crickets. So Mika investigates the door and is asking the demon what the point of moving the door was. Is this part of your master plan to move the door, or are you just doing random shit? It's so good.
The demon's so embarrassed.
Yeah, because, when people think of ghosts, it's like, why are they always just moving things slightly? And it's like...
Well, I kind of like the idea. Like, if you watch that show Ghost, I think it's just called Ghosts.
Oh,
the
Ghost,
comedy one.
Yeah,
I
always wanted to watch it.
It's a funny show. Like that one guy's power, because they all have a certain power. His power is to be able to move stuff just barely.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it takes a lot of his energy. It's so funny.
It's just like the commercials for that show are so bad and lame. I'm just like,
the show's actually pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I may just have to check it out and put
it's
it on.
Fun.
Need to add a new sitcom to throw into my rewatch of sitcoms instead of watching the same six over and over. Yeah. Katie says whatever is following her feels like it wants to hurt her. Mika says not to worry because he will take care of it. And it's like, he has such a hero complex in this movie.
Yeah.
It's great though, because that's what people think.
He loves her though. It seems like he supports her. He doesn't believe it all the way.
Yeah. Well, Mika's
it's kind of a joke, but I think he does support her.
Yeah. Until he becomes an asshole.
Yeah.
But this is like a very classic thing. And Mika definitely seems like one of those people where like, when I got mugged, everybody just came to me. Oh, I just keep thinking about what I would do in that situation, how I would handle it. I'd be like,
fucking idea.
I don't know, put a gun in your face.
Then
what are
you
you
start
gonna do?
carrying a gun and putting it in everyone's faces.
Yeah.
That was a bad time.
Yeah. So Katie tells Mika that if things start to get too serious, that she doesn't want to keep doing the camera thing. Mika says that because she didn't tell him about the haunting stuff, that he gets a little say in how they handle it.
No, dude.
This is where he's officially a dick.
No, man.
Because he makes her feel bad about it. And she's like, what do you want me to say? Like, hey, I think there's a ghost haunting me, like on our first date. And he's like, but then he does have a point. I don't know, date 15, date 30, when we moved in. He does have a point there, but just don't be a dick about it.
Maybe she's just waiting for him to specifically ask if she's ever been haunted.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm the type of person, that's what you should lead with. Be like, yeah, I'm also been haunted. I'd be like, excuse me.
Boner time.
Hold on. Look, even if this date isn't working out, I need to know all about this story. Just tell me this. And then if you don't like me, whatever, at least I got this story, right? So they're locking up and getting ready for sleep. And this is where we get the line. I don't think it cares about alarms and locked doors. It can go wherever it wants. Whatever is happening, it's already here. So then we get night 5.
Duh.
Katie wakes up gasping from air. Oh, wait. Night 5. Yeah. I gotta do that every time. Katie wakes up gasping for air from a nightmare. Then they hear a loud thud downstairs. Micah goes to investigate it. They don't find anything. Go back to bed, though.
Yeah. I hated how they... this thing about going down the stairs, they would like kind of point the camera towards the downstairs area while on the stairs, but then they'd always just go back to the painting on the wall, like the picture hanging on the wall, and then not look downstairs. Like, come on, I want to look downstairs.
They're scared. I ain't looking downstairs.
He's looking and the camera's not. Come on, man.
Tell you what, this is my house. Ain't every damn light in that house is on. I don't care if it matters at all. But I ain't
never, ever, ever turn off the lights.
And this goes to like how like effective the filmmaking in this movie was by constantly never turning on any lights and just having a really bright flashlight. Makes it so much scarier than just having lights on. It's so good. Especially when looking down the hallway, because I know like what you're talking about. They're always kind of like, they'll pan a little bit downstairs and it's like, huh? What did I see something?
I don't want to see it.
And it's like, something about like just having flashlights only on. It's like, crap, there could be anything around that flashlight light.
Right on the periphery.
It's like, am I going to see a hand or something? I don't know.
Yeah, or goat's butt.
Yeah, goat's butt. So next day, Katie is spending time with her friend. Mika shows a sound he captured. It sounds like a voice, but they can't understand. Mika brings up buying a Ouija board, but
I love how what he said. He's like, it's no language I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's like,
and I've heard them all.
What are you, captain of languages? You day trade languages back and forth.
Yeah.
Katie begs him not to buy a Ouija board. He promises he won't buy one.
Yep.
Later.
And did you think to yourself, surely he doesn't mean he's just going to borrow it? Surely he's not that dumb.
I did not, but I knew he was going to get one. Yeah. I didn't know he was going to use a technicality to get it, but I knew he was going to get one.
It's so petty, Mika.
Mika brings up buying. Oh, nope. Later, Mika is antagonizing the demon. So dumb. Damn Zach Baggins over here.
No, you got to exercise the demon.
Asking if it's scared, he calls the demon worthless. Toby's like, why I oughta? Just wait. I'm going to scare the hell out of you tonight. So, cut to night 13.
Scariest night number.
Where we hear footsteps and bumping. They listen intently. And then all of a sudden they hear like an almost animalistic scream and a huge thud. Let's go. This is where it's like, hell yeah, we're getting screaming now. Because it's a very scary scream. Like if I heard that at night, I'd be like, I don't know, man. Do we burn the house?
Yeah.
Do we kill ourselves? Like, what do we do? Jump out the window? I don't know. But that would be the last night I'm there during the day, during the nighttime. I will get in the car, drive somewhere, sleep in the car.
Hell yeah.
Of course they can't because it follows them.
It follows.
But at least try.
Follows.
I would still try. So they go down to investigate. They see a chandelier swinging. They go back upstairs and a random room has a light on. They don't really notice. I put that in my notes, but I think they have that light on like constantly. So I don't know. It's the one where they go up into the attic and that light. I know the first night they definitely have it on, but I didn't think it was on this go around, but I may be wrong.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that.
And they keep looking at the ceiling like they're thinking something was up in the ceiling. We'll soon figure out. That's probably where it lives. So they go back to the bedroom. They hear some more noises outside the room. They listen for a bit, hearing random footsteps and bumping. And then they finally are able to go back to sleep.
Doesn't he like go listen to the floor? Or is that when he does that?
Yeah, I think that's when he listens to the floor, yeah.
God.
So
like he's listening for buffalo.
Yeah. Just hear some ants. Hey man, who's making all that noise?
Hey, give it down up there.
Come on. Golly. We need to give more of like a valley, more of a valley voice instead of this New York accents we're giving everything since we're in California.
Yeah.
In California. So next morning, Michael is still hoping. I can't do it. I'm too sick. I can't do it. I can only do a New York voice with this, like, with all this mucus in me. I guess maybe I'm being possessed. You know, I got all this, got possessed by Slimer in my head, apparently.
Yeah, possessing it.
Yeah, hey. So next morning, Mika is still hoping for more action, and Katie says maybe they shouldn't have a camera anymore. Mika thinks it's all cool while Katie is getting more and more scared. Katie does a really good job in this movie. She's great. Yeah,
her body posture even looks scared a lot.
Yeah, like it's just you can just see her slowly getting more and more scared.
Yeah,
and she plays it off very well.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they got really lucky getting these actors being this decent for $500, you know?
Yeah.
So Mika says it may be in the walls or the ceiling. And it obviously is just wanting them to go into that attic. That's what it's like building up to. It wants them to go find that picture. Because as soon as it finds that picture, that's when they're all going to be scared now. That's when all the negative energy will be happening.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
kinda
what it feeds on.
It.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So Mika does an EVP experiment. What is your quest? What is your favorite color? When listening back, he hears a grunting. Yeah.
Not this again.
Me, Toby. Then we cut to night 15.
Oh, so like he was swinging on the chandelier?
Yeah. It's
like Miley Cyrus?
This is a Neanderthal. Just like banging around. Me want the girl. So it's night 15. Katie awakens in a daze and stands next to their bed for 2 hours. Then she walks downstairs. People flip their shit in the theaters.
It was scary as hell.
It was almost like there was a ton of crowd reaction in the theater, but this was just like probably like the longest amount of like, oh, hell no type of stuff.
Yeah.
People just be like, why is she doing this?
Oh, go back to bed.
God, man.
That was cool.
Love horror movie theaters. Like, even I remember seeing Insidious 2.
Oh, no.
And, man, that crowd was just rowdy, dude. And it was so much fun.
Yeah, I saw Silent Hill 2 in Nashville. Or maybe it was just the first movie.
You just see Silent Hill 2. I love that first Silent Hill.
Yeah,
it's really fun.
It was such a fun movie to watch.
Maybe we'll do this for this.
Yeah, we should watch it.
So Micah finally wakes up and goes to look for Katie. This is still the same night. He finds her outside sitting on a swing. She's acting weird and distant. She doesn't want to go back in, so he goes to get some blankets and suddenly hears a loud noise. And when he goes to investigate, he sees there's a TV on and it's just static like the camera. He turns around and Katie is standing right behind him. He confronts her and she acts like he's being weird and she just wants to go back to bed.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, because like she's finally coming to and then just has a bright camera light in her face.
Like, get out of my face.
Yeah.
You'd be so annoying. Go to sleep.
Like, Micah, you gotta get better at not shining that light in people's eyes. But yeah, things are getting more and more crazy. So the next day they are watching the footage. She asks if she remembers any of this and she says she doesn't remember any of it. And she can't explain what happened. She only remembers Micah freaking out when she re-enters the room. So they talk a little bit. Katie wants to call the demonologist, but Micah, just has like just a huge pair below. Just hold on, let me restart.
Parabolic?
I was gonna say
hullabaloo.
I was gonna say balls.
Okay,
but I couldn't get any of that. Okay, so they talk. Katie wants to call a demonologist, but Micah is still trying to be the hero and says it will probably make it worse. And then he proceeds to immediately using a Ouija board because he wants to take care of it himself.
He just can't stop doing the wrong stuff.
And so like they're about to go out on a date or whatever. And she's like, oh, thank God.
Now's a good time to pull it out.
Thank God I'm getting out of this house. I'm so happy I don't have to think about this. Because like, hey, come in here, babe. I got something you're going to enjoy, even though you said I didn't want this and never would want this. And you're going to hate me for it.
Yes.
So Katie gets pissed when she sees. This will really
set the mood for the evening.
Bro, like I would never, I'd be like, we're done. You're obviously never going to respect me.
You're staying here. I'm going out alone.
I'm literally terrified and can't remember things that are happening to me. So yeah, let's bring a Ouija board in now. Ouija. Yeah, Katie is pissed. He says he didn't buy the board. He borrowed it.
Gotcha.
Clever boy. Negative energy. So much negative energy now in the house. Things are going to only get worse. She storms out and he's like, what? Why are you so mad? And then runs out after her. But I'm very understandably mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So we are left with a shot of just the Ouija board. Ouija. Stop saying Ouija.
I've never used one. I was always too scared.
I've always wanted to use one. And like now that like, I'm older, I don't really believe in any of it. But there's still a part of me that's like, fuck, what if I did do something wrong?
Yeah, let's do it. Right? Let's open a portal to hell.
Always about that's the thing about ghosts and demons. It's always I know they're probably not real, but what if? That's what makes them scary.
Yes.
We just don't know.
Hell yeah.
So Micah wants her to help, but she is too mad. Micah isn't taking it serious enough and she kicks him out. Wait, what? Oh, wait. Hold on.
Well, they leave for the date, and then like the Ouija board starts acting up.
Yeah.
And he must have got an exploding one.
Oh, yeah. I did not.
Milton Bradley.
Yeah. I did not put my notes right. Yeah, because the planchette piece starts moving.
Nice pull.
Yeah,
planchette.
Bro. Hell yeah. You want to talk to me about ghosts? I know them, dude. I know all about this stuff. And it's just kind of making movements. You can't really see what it says. I do know what it says, though. And then all of a sudden it catches
Nadine,
on fire.
Like you thought?
No, it says Micah.
Oh.
It goes Micah and then says goodbye.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then it catches on fire.
I don't think Micah's gonna make it out of the movie. So she's like super pissed because he's like, hey, come look what happened to the Ouija board. I know you're super mad and we probably argued during a whole date. And she makes him turn the camera off and they kind of talk. Then we cut to Micah talking to the camera. He swears to abide by Katie's rules with camera use and not to antagonize the demon. and to not betray Katie's trust. At first he says, and she's like, I think you need to say it with a little bit more, apologetically.
Yeah, that'd be funny. So she's studying to be a teacher, I think.
English teacher.
English teacher. She made him do like write-offs on the board.
Yeah.
On a chalkboard.
It's like she wakes up the next day and she just wakes up to him writing on the
It's
walls.
like Bart Simpson.
I will not antagonize the demon. I will not antagonize
then
the
he
demon.
jumps out the window on a
The
skateboard.
demon can eat my shorts.
Yes.
And then we kind of cut to them laying down for bed. She seems to kind of forgiven him. But even like when they're laying down, he's like, are you sure you don't want to talk about the Ouija board? And she's like, let's just go to bed.
Are you fucking kidding me?
It's like, she just forgave you. Leave it alone. Golly.
Take a hit.
He's such a boy about it.
Yes.
So next day, he is researching the Ouija board. Apparently, the board may have said Dina or something else. We already talked
or
about
sardine.
it. Yeah. It says, Mika, then goodbye. And soon he will be goodbyed. It's a weird way to say it, but whatever. So later, she is talking to her friend. Mika says he has a plan. He wants to lay down powder to catch footprints. But if he does this, she gets to call the demonologist.
She should have called him. I mean, he already was like, promise me you won't call the professional.
Yeah.
Let me give it a try.
There's a point where I get like night 1 through 5, right?
Yes.
It's like, no, there's no reason. But as soon as you hear that scream,
yeah,
that's when, okay, yeah, we'll call them. There's chandeliers just moving. This isn't normal. There was no earthquake.
I feel like if you send a demonologist a video of chandeliers swinging by itself,
they disappear.
They'll just appear.
You'll just wake up and there'll be like 10 of them in your house.
He's knocking on your door, man.
Yeah. So this sort of thing. I love this powder shit. It's so good. So we see Mika putting powder down. They argue more. Mika says this is his house and nobody fucks with his girlfriend. More negative energy.
Yeah. But I love that the demon is a dinosaur or like it's a raptor.
Demons, they always have, they always got like hooves and reptile feet.
This one has like chicken feet.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Which is fun. Fun to think about what it looks like.
Man, so I remember one of the like my favorite moments ever from like going to a haunted house. Like the attractions, the haunted house attractions. There was one. It was like Monster Madness or Madness on the Mountain. It was something like somewhere in backwoods Tennessee. Where the best ones are.
Creepy in itself.
Yeah, and I just remember we start off and we walk in, and there's this like person in like this weird chicken suit.
Yes,
and just like walking like. Whatever. I can't do a chicken noise right
hilarious.
now. But I remember it's just the way that I guess maybe like I had it framed and with my eyes like looking at it. It was so terrifying, and it's still one of the scariest visuals.
This is so weird.
The most frustrating thing is like because my wife was with me, and then like 2 of our friends.
So frustrating when they're with you.
They don't remember that.
Oh, what?
So I don't know if
you
this
could
even
have just made this up.
Did it even happen, or was it a dream?
Are you scared of chickens?
No, but like you could tell it was a person in a chicken costume. But
did
it was
a chicken jump in your mouth?
It was just the way it was walking, and I thought it was very scary.
That's cool.
But it was just like, and there's like, there's kind of like lights, and it was kind of near the beginning of the attraction, so you could kind of see the lights behind it, and it's just like. So it's like very.
This guy's not part of the attraction.
I think about
we just can't make him leave.
I think about it all the time. That's also the time whenever we went through Devin, who was on our last episode of Saw 2. He's like, oh, I hate chainsaws. I hate chainsaws. And him and his wife were leading, and I was in the very back. And of course, the chainsaw comes out. It's right behind me. He's supposed to be scared of the chainsaw. He doesn't start running. I'm like, guys, it's behind us.
He's frozen in fear.
It's like he's getting really close. Like we should start running, right? Though now, chainsaws are the worst parts in those attractions. They're not scary
and
at all.
They're stinky.
Yeah, they're stinky. And it always feels awkward when they come out with a chainsaw because I'm like, this isn't scary.
It's loud, man.
It's like, this isn't scary. You should just like jump out and go boo. That's what gets me. All right. Anyway, sorry. It's Halloween season, baby. I'm so happy. We cut to night 17. We hear footsteps.
He's having a dubstep party.
Yeah. My throat's gonna be dead after this. We hear footsteps. And then we see footprints in the powder. It's so good.
That's cool.
They wake up and see them. They're like, oh
works.
shit, it's still nighttime too. This sucks. Mika gets up and turns on the light. And Katie has the thing, there's footprints in, but no footprints out.
Oh dang, it's still in here. Do you think that'd be funny if it was just like an ass print in the powder?
Yeah. just like a butt and then like dick and balls. Then like just writes in it, just like when you're ready. Gets up, walks away, and we just see the powder on its butt. Is that what Paranormal Activity is about?
Yes.
I thought about watching one of those. It's like the really
That's
bad
a real thing?
Yeah, Paranormal Activity.
Oh, wow.
I think that's the crap. What's their name? They do a lot of the parodies, like the
like Meet the Spartans and shit?
well, it's not them. It's the Wayne's
okay.
brothers.
Okay.
Then theirs, like they're really bad ones that they did for a while.
Yeah.
They'll have one good one every once in a while.
Just using the word whack.
Yeah,
kind of gave that away.
Yeah. I will say though, if you want to watch like a parody movie that's pretty good, The Blackening.
What?
Yeah, it's like a series. It's like a
That's
actually
hilarious.
good like comedy movie, and
That's
it's
cool.
It's about like this black group of friends and stuff that are there, and it's so funny. It's so funny.
Sounds great.
It's so good. Because especially since they're all black, there's all these like jokes about horror movies and black people in horror movies. It's so good. It's so funny.
That sounds good.
So, golly, tangents, man. So Mika, he follows the prints from the closet that always has the light on. The attic access is open. Katie's like, you've got to be kidding me. Did you do this? She's not having a good time now. And Mika gets a ladder to take a look. While looking around, he finds a picture. It's a burnt picture of Katie when she was 8. It's from the house that burned down. Katie cannot believe it because everything burned up.
How did it get in the attic?
Toby's like, I gotta save some memorabilia. Once I possess her, I can sell it on eBay.
He loves insulation.
And somehow, then they end up going back to the bedroom, and later in bed, Katie is crying while looking at the picture. She's like, this is too real.
I used to be pretty.
It means. But it's just like, oh shit, this thing has literally been following me with a picture around. It's crazy.
That's weird.
He's been hiding this in his ghost dimension.
Or maybe they just use photos of children to insulate homes.
Yeah. That's right. The damn Jeffrey Epstein housing market over here.
Oh, no.
I guess we could go P. Diddy now.
Hey, so someone else's trash, right?
Yeah. So next day, Katie and Mika are drinking coffee, and they look absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, they look like shit.
Yeah. They review the footage, and we see even more clearly the footprints. It's great. Katie says she is calling the demonologist. Mika is trying to stop her, and she says she is in control. Also at this point, like after the Ouija board, Katie just starts saying the F word a lot all of a sudden.
Yeah.
She decided it's time to improvise. Fuck. More and more.
Can we say bad word?
Yeah. And then she says, like, nothing that Mika has done has helped. Because he keeps saying, I'm taking care of it. It's like, you're not doing shit, dude.
Yeah, man.
You've done nothing but make it worse. This thing is set on a board. It's going to kill you.
It took you 17 days to do a powder test.
Yeah, exactly. That's like day 5 for me. Like anytime something happens, Natalie's like, stop putting out powder. It was just
powder.
the wind. It's like, I can't help it. But it turns out the demonologist is out of town. So Dr. Fredericks will come back by. He's going to be so helpful.
Not really.
Yep, not at all. Then we cut to night 18. We hear footsteps and a light downstairs turns on, then off. Suddenly there is running and the bedroom door slams. Fuck yeah. A freaked out Mika runs to the door and something starts banging it. He opens the door and checks it out with Katie holding the camera following. They go.
Toby runs away.
You'll never catch me. They go past the closet with Mika telling it to show itself. It slams the bedroom door again and starts banging on it. This time they're outside of it.
I'm in here now.
Yeah. You'll never guess where I am. Katie refuses to go into the bedroom and wants to go downstairs. They suddenly start hearing door squeals and squeaks. They then decide to go back upstairs and cower on the bed. Next day, Mika goes downstairs to check on Katie, who looks terrible on the couch. She's scared to sleep. That's a great old, I remember that being pretty fun in the theaters.
Yeah,
right?
it's where shits is picking up for real.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's at this point, would you start just sleeping during the day and just to see if it would change? Like just staying awake all night long.
I would just, I'd be like, here's what we're doing. We're driving.
Yeah, we're getting out of here.
We're going to drive. We're going to go wherever this demonologist is. We're going to find his location. We're going to take turns driving. I will drive during the day. You will drive at night. And we will get there. And this guy will do whatever he has to do.
Just live in his house until the demon shows up. And he's like, maybe he'll do something about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you just put salt around you, I think you should be all right.
Maybe
right?
she has sex with the demonologist and won't be her problem anymore.
Yeah, it'd be like, it follows it sexually transmitted
exactly
to him. But I do love the idea that like the demon's just like he's just slowly getting more and more excited because you kind of hear the footsteps and he's like, oh, I can't wait anymore. I'm gonna slam the door too. Then they run out and he's like, they don't know that I'm in here. Then as soon as they walk out, I'm gonna close it on them.
Annoying, right?
Yeah. Just like that. Think of it as like a little kid just like running up the stairs. I'm so excited. So, shit, where'd I go? So later, they are eating during the day and they hear a loud bang. The demon bashed in a picture of them and it only cracked Mika's face. Boom, boom, boom.
So has he got a thing for Katie?
Yeah.
He's just jealous.
The demon? What's
jealous of Mika.
The later movies explain all of why it wanted Katie.
She got nice boobies.
Like it's like the parents or a bunch of coven of witches and stuff like that.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that's I think that's the fourth one. So you saw the fourth one then?
Saw the fourth one.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, fourth one. Yeah. Then suddenly, so yeah, it cracks Mika's face. Then suddenly Katie says, "It's here." And that she can feel it breathing on her.
It also scratches the shit out of his picture.
Yeah.
Like with a claw.
Oh yeah, it's like almost like it punched it almost, and it's like a big X on his face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, she's saying she can feel the breathing on her. Oh, love this. It's so good.
Gross.
And then we see her hair moving from breathing. Yes, queen. Toby's a real queen.
Toby's just brushing her hair back behind her ear a little bit.
Don't worry, babe.
Whispering sweet nothing.
I'll be your Mika.
Oh, no.
Katie says yeet and puts it downstairs.
Yes,
but Mika stays and looks around. Mika says, has this shit happened in the daytime before? Katie, it's getting worse.
It's getting stronger.
Damn, I should have done that at the beginning. That would have been really good. So later, they're waiting for Dr. Fredericks. He is very nervous and antsy and can't wait for him to get there. He comes back and he immediately feels the presence of the demon.
He's like, no, I'm out.
It's like, wow. Oh, I forgot. I would rather be anywhere than here.
Go.
That's right. I have a date with not this place. Man, that was the sickness, not being able to come up with a joke.
Oh, my grandma died.
Yeah.
I gotta
go. Toby's like, R.I.P. I hope I'll see her soon. He says that he has to immediately leave and that he is doing more harm than good by being there. Then he leaves. Katie is incredibly distressed now.
At that point, if she hasn't left already, when the professional walks out of the room scared,
I'd be like, I'm following you home.
Yeah, come on.
You're going to have to figure this out with me because I'm coming with
Micah,
you.
You stay here with the powder and shit.
This is California. There's at least 50 demonologists here.
They probably live right next door.
In like the 10-mile span. And so
all you got to do is get on Yelp or whatever, right?
Anything at this point, right? I mean, anything. It'd be like, Zach Baggins, where you at, man?
Bilbo.
Come on. Hey, Ghost Hunters crew, where you at? Taps, get over here. I know you're on the East Coast, but come over here.
Putting out the all points bulletin.
Honestly, if I was like being hunted by a demon, I would start driving to Las Vegas to find Zach Baggins and be like, look, you seem to like getting possessed every single episode of your show. So how about you do it for real and this thing will leave me alone? So at night, we see Katie crying in bed with Mika comforting her. Aww. And then we hit night 19. Early in the night, we see something pull up Katie's blanket. Then we cut to 3 a.m. and the closet light comes on and then off. We see a shadow on the bedroom door. It fucking rules.
Yeah.
God, I rewound it. I was just like, I love this. It's so fun. I love the spookiness. Then suddenly Katie wakes up from feeling breathing on her face. Mika gets up and comforts her.
Breathes on her face some more.
Like, yeah, that happens to me all the time. It's called my dog. No, now that we have a kitten, my feet are getting attacked at night.
Oh, that's sweet.
No. Not at 2 a.m. in the morning.
No.
If it did it at 3 a.m., I'd be like, it's a demon cat. We got a demonologist, this thing. So it's the next morning. They are laying in bed. We can hear footsteps, and she says she can feel it watching her. This is during the day. They watch the previous night's footage. Mika does some research and finds someone that experienced the exact same things that happened to her, but in the 60s. Apparently, she ended up dying when she tried to get an exorcism. Mika says they shouldn't call an exorcist just because, it killed her.
Yeah, I don't want to die.
And he believes that this is the same demon that possessed this woman is now with her.
And I think historically, exorcisms have been pretty violent towards the people.
Yeah, and most likely these were just, mentally ill people and ended up dying because they weren't properly.
They were taking some pretty extreme measures.
Yeah, and
with
the parents should have,
Yeah.
It's mainly like, it's the whole Emily Rose movie. I don't know if you ever saw it. That's kind of about like this one young girl that essentially died because of like starvation and stuff.
Yep.
Because the parents didn't get proper medical care.
Nope.
Or it was a demon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have tried the medical stuff first, but we'll do what we do, I guess.
Yep.
So Mika goes to her with some ideas, but Katie keeps getting pissed because she wants 5 minutes without having to fucking talk about this demon and ghosts while she's trying to study. They argue a lot. Mika starts being an asshole to her and saying, oh, go up there with your friend. And then we immediately cut to Katie crying upstairs on the floor. Cut to night 20. We see the shadow again. That night, Katie is forcibly dragged out of bed and down the hallway by invisible force. So
Sucks.
Good. Yeah.
Sucks so
Pretty
much.
rad.
I know you see her body kind of, I thought she was just going to flop out of the bed.
Yeah.
Go like falling asleep.
But you see it kind of drag her and
It's
stuff.
just
It's
like,
really cool.
fuck.
I think they just use like a bungee, like cord rope or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is why it kind of has that like kind of floaty motion because, they kind of have pull and give, I think. But really effective and good.
It was really
cool. And it looks really good. Yeah. That's one of the best parts about this. Like all the CGI, you can't really feel it, right? It's like you see it and you're like, wow, that's really good. But it should be known that, like every YouTube video ever doing, poltergeist type stuff always looks really good on YouTube. And it's like, man, this stuff is so easy to do. It's great. That's why I'll never believe a video I see of a ghost because it's pretty easy to do. Sorry, another tangent. So hearing the screams, Mika gives chase and wrestles her away, and Katie emerges from the struggle with a gruesome bite on her back.
Yeah, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, be like, damn.
Yeah, it makes it the Neanderthal demon again.
Yeah,
how they just club him on the head and drag him away.
Yeah,
you're my night wife now.
It's like, oh no, I got bit by a radioactive demon. Now,
yeah, that was a weird looking.
Now
bite.
I'm gonna be a superhero.
It looks like the bite on her back with like a sandworm bite or something.
Yeah, it is.
It's so fucking weird.
It's kind of weird. I do kind of wish at one point because I always assume that it have like a goat face. I assume all demons have goat faces.
Yeah,
just because it rules. So stressed and exhausted, the couple decides to go to a hotel room.
Or maybe a hospital. How about that one?
Yeah. How about
for the bite?
I don't know. A church?
Hospital first, and then
start going to church.
You can go to the chaplain at the church.
Because if I had a demon, I will be there constantly. Before they leave, Mika finds Katie gripping a plain wooden cross so tightly it bloodies her palm.
Oh, that's what that was. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah.
Then I saw him put it on the fire. I'm like, well, what? Why are you burning that?
That makes it worse, dude. I mean, you
mean-
burned the one thing that might have helped her.
And I would have burned it too, honestly, but like, I just didn't know why.
I would have just like put a circle of crosses, and then inside that circle, a circle of Bibles, and then outside of both of those, a circle of salt. And then I would just stay there forever. Or I'd put like a giant platform that can kind of move and just put salt and all that stuff circling me. And then I'd be like, it goes where I go.
And then just taunt it.
Yeah. So a pissed off Mika says he is going to take care of it. He burns the picture of Katie. Oh, it's a picture of Katie.
Yeah.
As a little kid. Mika tries to get Katie to leave. A suddenly calm Katie insists to Mika that they instead remain at the house. Then we hear her say, I think we'll be okay now, with a demonic echo.
Yes.
Bum, bum, bum. That was fun because everybody in the theater is like, oh, hell no.
It's got her.
And following was a smile from her at the looking directly at the camera, indicating a demonic presence.
Do you think the demon got in through the back hole?
Well,
I didn't think about that.
If they're not in Kentucky, the demon can do whatever it wants, I guess. If it was in Kentucky, you'd be like, oh, sorry, we can't. I can't.
No.
I'm going to have to go through the mouth. Cut to night one. That night, Katie once again awakens to stare at a sleeping Mika for several hours.
But she goes over closer to him.
And then goes down the stairs into the darkness and begins screaming, Mika! Mika wakes up and runs to her, and the camera can only see the bedroom in a dark hallway as it records the sounds of a struggle upon his arrival downstairs. Mika and Katie's screams are cut short, and brief silence is heard, followed by sounds of heavy footsteps coming up the stairs. Unexpectedly, Mika is hurled at the camera, knocking it over.
Fuck yeah.
Still filming, Katie slowly walks into view, her face demonically contorted and her clothing covered in blood. She crouches to sniff at Mika's lifeless body, then smiles at the camera before lunging towards it.
I thought she was going to take a bite.
As the screen cuts to black. Terrible, dumb face at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that was a dumb face.
So bad.
That was bad.
It's the worst part of the whole movie.
She just looked normal.
And this is what... So this was the studio's ending. This is what they wanted the ending to be. The little scare at the ending. It's like, of course the studio wanted a dumb demonic face at the end. And then we get the ending title card states that Mika's body was discovered days later by the police and Katie's whereabouts remain unknown. Before we start to go into our conclusions and me saying, that's the movie Paranormal Activity, we'll talk about the other versions. So, another version of the ending has been seen, similar to the original. After Katie and Mika's screams are cut short downstairs, there are loud thudding footsteps that come up the stairs, and we see Katie comes into the bedroom with a big blood stain on her shirt. She sits on the floor at the side of the bed and begins rocking. She also has a giant knife.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, the time fast forwards and the phone rings. Katie continues rocking as her friend leaves a message and eventually visits the house. Half an hour after we hear the friend run out of the house screaming, we hear a loud knocking on the front door. The police arrive, and as they're searching the house, we see a light come on down the hall in the closet or guest bedroom. They come upstairs to find Katie, and she finally wakes up and stands up holding out a knife. Shots are fired, and Katie falls, and the police search for the shooter. Well, no, the police shooter. Oh, okay. Well, wherever I got the ending.
She gets
finding,
suicided by police.
Yeah. And they search the bedroom and find that the camera is still recording, and an ending title card says dedicated to Mika and Katie. And then there's one more, and it's essentially all this happens. It's like the one that we see here, but she comes up, looks at the camera, and slices her throat.
Whoa.
That's the third one. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Both better than the one we get.
Yeah. They both sound fucking rad.
Yeah, they're both like kind of horrifying.
That's awesome.
But that's Paranormal Activity.
That was so fun.
We're going to do our little categories here: the good, the bad, the ugly, the fine. It's where we discuss the good of the movie, the good, the bad of the movie, the bad. The something that didn't age well, the ugly, something that did age well, the fine. Ooh, I'll let you go first because I got to take a drink. What's the good?
No, I thought the good was the building of tension and like the way that these characters really were quite good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though it was a very low budget
Yeah.
film.
I put like the realness of it,
Yeah,
like how real it felt.
it felt real
The
for sure.
effects were really, they weren't over the top. It never went over the top, which
Right.
was so nice.
Yeah.
The later ones start going a little over the top, especially when it gets to like the Coven of Witches and stuff.
Yeah.
The marked ones, it's just like, fuck it, let's just do whatever we want. That's one where there's like time travel and
Yeah. Hell yeah,
it
man.
honestly becomes a bit like a superhero movie,
Fuck
which is
yeah.
kind of crazy. But I enjoyed it, especially since it was the fifth one, because it's like, let's do something new. Let's just throw everything out the window. Let's just have fun. I really like that one. I like the characters in that one.
Cool.
But yeah, I love the characters, the realness, the directing is great. It's crazy they did this with $15,000. So good. For me, the bad, I put nothing. I just genuinely enjoy this movie.
Yeah, I did. I don't have anything bad.
I mean, it could be too slow for people.
Maybe.
I mean, some people might not like the pacing and just the fact that nothing's really happening.
I think
lot.
sometimes I get a bad taste in my mouth for movies that are like found footage because of the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
And I think this movie really
And
did much better than that.
yeah. For me, I love found footage movies so much.
Yeah.
Like, I just love them. I don't know what it is. You know what it is? I think everybody loves voyeurism,
Sure.
right?
I love staring into my neighbor's windows.
There's something like, just kind of freaky about it.
Yeah, freaky.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you're in someone's
And
life
that's what
right
everyone
now.
says about you when you do it, when they catch you.
It's
They're
so
like, you're
weird.
such a freak. Get out of my
It's like, man, it's like, why do my neighbors keep calling the police on me? I'm just standing on a ladder looking in their window.
Just trying to help them.
Sheesh. It's like, I'm just watching them watch TV. It's not that creepy. No, but I think that's what it is. It's like you're in their lives. You're in these people's lives for a short moment and at the worst moment of their lives.
Yes.
And it's fun. It's fun.
It is fun.
Because it's not real.
Yeah, I know.
That's what it is.
I know,
That's what it is.
Jesse. God.
So I try to tell people when people just like, no, I can't watch horror movies or gore and stuff. I'm like, hey, it ain't real.
Yeah.
It's fake.
Sometimes it's
All
extra
fake.
yucky.
And then it's like, you can watch people die on the news. You're just fine. But you can't watch a horror movie. It's fake. Hey, it's fake. Toby ain't real.
Toby.
I'm going to look around, make sure nothing's moving in my room.
I just heard someone go, oh.
Yeah. So The Ugly, what's something that didn't age well? It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. I feel like they didn't really do anything wrong in this movie. As far as I could tell. I mean, they talked about Toby pretty awfully.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like, demons got feelings too. It's like, hey, now I gotta go tell the devil what you said. The Ugly for me was the fact that because of this movie, they made Paranormal Activity 4 and Ghost Dimensions.
Oh no.
Those movies, I mean, 4 is not too awful. It's just like boring and it's like the tropes played out by now.
Yeah.
Ghost Dimensions is like they just want to do CG. They just want to do 3D.
Sure.
They just really love 3D.
That's super weird.
It's like, why does every film franchise, horror movies, have to go to 3D at some point?
So what didn't age well is this movie encourages people to make more movies.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I mean, I like the other two sequels. I like the other sequels. Yeah. It's just like, this movie had nothing ugly in it. It's just a couple movies later were ugly.
It just gave permission for it to be made into an ugly thing.
Yeah. And so for the fines and the age well, I put low budget film and creative filmmaking.
Fuck yeah, dude.
This is the best part about video cameras, you know? Instead of like film cameras, now we have video cameras. People can do things like this and it's great.
Yeah, it is cool.
And like YouTube is littered with great like little low budget horror movies.
And I like what you said about voyeurism. It's funny because everyone's so interested in other people's lives and like how they live their lives, and
especially now more than ever. This movie was kind of,
before every single person had a computer.
Yeah, and constantly filming themselves for 30 seconds doing almost practically nothing on TikTok.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Do you want to see me slightly move a little bit on doing a TikTok dance?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that dance is cool. I wish there was a ghost in it though.
Oh man, that would be good.
All right, so we're gonna go to next category, the double feature. Let me hear what you got, brother.
I was gonna say the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
But I mean, feel free to scrub through it. I just thought the ending was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like, but the shaky camera messed me up a lot of times. It made me feel nauseous. But I do like I like the whole idea. I love the idea of witches and like just evil shit. And it was like the first found footage movie I think I ever saw, which is great.
Yeah, and I know like a lot of the, especially after it's such a hard movie to watch the second time and get scared, especially during the whole like everything but the ending. The ending is very effective no matter how many times you kind of watch it. Something about being in the woods, walking into an abandoned building and seeing someone in a corner is just scary.
He ain't supposed to be there.
It's terrifying.
Get out of that corner.
But I will say everything that happens at night, like when they're in their tents and stuff, I find that stuff really fun.
It was fun.
Also like the sequel.
What?
There's like the Blair Witch. It's on Netflix. It's kind of a sequel. They use drones and stuff. Characters are pretty annoying. But I like that some of the deaths are pretty cool, and like I like the ideas that they had about the using the Blair Witch and like time and being stuck in like almost kind of like a loop. They are being stuck in they can't get out. I liked where it went, and that was the guy that did You're Next and
Ooh, cool.
The two newest Godzilla movies.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Godzilla and Kong, and then Godzilla times Kong, Fight for Kong. It's whatever those dumb movies are getting titles now.
Yeah.
So my double feature is called The Bay. It's a found footage movie. It's about Bay.
It's about Michael Bay.
It's about it's kind of like a lot of these people in like a New England-esque type town, like Maine or something, like near water and stuff.
Sure.
And there's like these parasites coming out of the water and like infecting people. And
That's cool.
It's really cool. It's actually directed by Barry Levinson, the guy that did Rain Man.
What?
He did, and it's like a 2012 movie. Well, and at first I was like, Barry Levinson, that's like a well-known director. And then like you see some of his movies, like, oh yeah, he made a lot of bad movies too versus some good movies. But it's a really fun movie.
That sounds awesome.
I found it like, pretty young, and I was like, oh, why have I never heard of this? This is a really fun found footage horror movie. But yeah, check that out. It's all about what's the little like things in the ocean that have like the shells on them?
Trilobites?
Yeah, stuff like that. It's all about those things infecting people. I think I might actually watch it after this.
Those creatures are related very closely to roly-polies that we have on land.
Really?
Yeah. Cool. They're like the roly-polies of the ocean.
And on that note, that is our discussion of Paranormal Activity.
Stay tuned for more facts.
Yes, stay more. Next week, we'll be doing the movie Roly and Poly. Bad joke. I'm sick. I'm sorry. Hey, join us next week. We will be doing the original Evil Dead. Hell yeah, finally diving into that franchise. One of my favorite horror movie franchises. They're almost all, they are all bangers. So I can't wait for us to talk about that. So join us next week for that. Because we're rolling on these scary movies, baby.
Love Halloween.
And we would love to hear from you. Earlier I said how you can contact us. So please contact us. Leave us a review, 5 stars. Give us some comments. And share us with your friends. If you're enjoying this and you know some horror hounds, then have them listen to us during October.
That's a fun word.
We have plenty of horror movies that we've done if you only want to listen to horror movies. Podcasts.
We're going to do more.
Yes. The whole month. And we may never stop doing horror movies.
I love horror movies.
So join us then. Follow us on social medias. Go to our Linktree / We Recommend Podcasts. It's the quickest way to get to our social medias and anywhere to listen to us.
Or just come to Jesse's house.
Yeah. At 123 Toby Road.
Toby.
And thank you, Joey Prosser, for our
fuck you, Toby.
For our intro and outro music. You can follow him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser. And I believe that's it, right, mate?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. So this has been the We Recommend Podcast. I'm Jesse.
I'm Jason.
I'm Toby. See you next week. Bye.
Toby, get out of here.
Hey, Toby.